that moment.
Pleased to be here with our District Attorney, Seth Williams, a champion for justice in this city. And I'm pleased to share a podium with him in opposition to the candidate who has suddenly somehow found West Philadelphia, somehow now wants to talk about education. So we're going to have a conversation about education this morning. Thank you all for being here. This election is about a choice between moving forward and falling backward. Yesterday, Mitt Romney showed us what falling backward looks like when it comes to our children's education. He was vague, he lacked any details, and he showed just how far back he would take us. And he showed us with so many of his policies in the past, Romney economics is unconcerned with long-term growth or an economy that's built to last. But long-term success is exactly what education is all about, and that's what President Barack Obama is about. Romney has always opposed investing in our children's education. Again, I don't understand why he's here today. What he supports are policies that hurts our ability to educate our children and prepare them for good jobs and a good future. Let's talk about K-12 education since we're at this school. As governor, Romney balanced his state budget as required by his state's constitution. Unfortunately, he did it on the backs of the students. By his second year, Mitt Romney had already forced Massachusetts schools to take the second largest cuts per pupil in the country. Those cuts forced schools to lay off thousands of teachers, along with librarians and even police officers. Not exactly a record as a job creator. As governor, again, he tried to cut funding for early literacy and kindergarten programs, vetoed a bill to create universal pre-kindergarten in Massachusetts, and questioned the value of early education. How is that possible? He vetoed programs that would have helped reduce class size, especially in the earliest grades, when of course we know that that's the time when attention is needed the most. None of this helped students in Massachusetts get ready for college or the workforce. And those who did go to college in Romney's Massachusetts didn't fare much better. So now let's talk about college. If you went to college in Massachusetts while Mitt Romney was governor, you likely paid more than students in most other states.
That's right.
He cut funding and aid as college costs went up, and it became harder and harder for middle-class families to afford to send their kids to college in the first place. At the end of Romney's one term, Massachusetts public four-year colleges and community colleges were among the most expensive in the United States of America. Our nation can't afford this brand of cutting costs for the short term with no regard for what it means in terms of long-term success. Let me give you a couple other examples. Mitt Romney would cut the Pell Grant program, let the president's college tax credit program expire, and allow student loan interest rates to double. All of these things would make college more expensive, putting a college education out of the reach for more families and students. And he would put big banks and for-profit lenders back in charge of federal student loans, but would also strip out the safeguards that President Obama put in place to protect families against their abusive practices. One last thing. We saw what happened under Mitt Romney when he was governor of Massachusetts. Class sizes increased, thousands of teachers laid off, college costs skyrocketed, and graduation rates at community colleges lagged behind the national average. Meanwhile, he had the fourth worst job creation record of any governor in the United States of America. Now we know that he would make deep cuts to education to fund tax breaks for millionaires and billionaires. Enact the Romney-Ryan budget, which would make higher education less affordable by cutting Pell Grants and letting the college loan interest rates more than double. He would cut nearly $5 billion from our country's schools. Romney's Massachusetts record is not a model for the nation. We can't afford wrong way Romney.
That's right.
That's good.
Oh, I like that.
Let me turn it over to our district attorney, who will give some perspective not only on President Obama's vision for the future, but also talk about the need for strong school systems as an economic imperative, which obviously differs from the record that I just laid out. Please give it up.